Hello viewers, welcome to Mesology. Today I'll focus on a specialized organelle which is mostly found in the plant cells. Yes, other than the plant cells, we also find it in some monerans like cyanobacteria and few protistans as well. I'm trying to speak about the green colored plastid, that is the chloroplast. Chloroplast is highly specialized organelle because only due to the presence of a chloroplast in the plants, they could become autotrophs. These plastids are capable of trapping sunlight and converting it into chemical energy. Let's see the details of the structure of a chloroplast. A chloroplast is a small, oval, double membrane structure which looks like a sac-like structure. It measures around 2 to 10 millimeter in diameter and 1 millimeter in thickness. This sac-like structure has two membranes, an outer membrane. This outer membrane permits the transport of ions and metabolites through it, whereas the inner membrane is highly specialized and that only allows the transport of proteins. In between the two membranes, there is a space called the intermembranar space. Inner to the inner membrane, we have a ground substance being spread out through the chloroplast, and this ground substance is named as stroma. This stroma contains a fluid in it, and that stroma is the site of biosynthetic phase of photosynthesis. I'll come and explain further when I have spoken about the rest of the parts of a chloroplast. Into that stroma are spread out large number of stacked structures with piles of coins or plate-like structures kept inside the stroma. Speaking of the stack, each of which is called a granum. In a single chloroplast, there are around 40 to 60 grana, and each grana is made up of piles of plate-like structures which are individually called as thylakoids. These thylakoids have a lumen, and that lumen is packed with chlorophyll on it. Chlorophyll is a green colored pigment. But what is in its composition? We should know. Chlorophyll molecule comprises of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and magnesium, and that makes it a specialized pigment which is capable of trapping sunlight and allowing the process of photosynthesis to happen in the plant cells. Where in these plant cells do we have abundance of chloroplasts? Let us find it out. Chloroplasts are abundantly found between the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis of a leaf or other green structures, that is, the area which is called mesophyll cells. These mesophyll cells are distinguished into pellucid parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Both of them have abundance of chlorophyll in them, and that's why they become the best site for the process of light reaction. Since this green pigment containing parts can trap sunlight, that's why the steps of photosynthesis, that is the starting steps of photosynthesis, which are light dependent, they start here, and on each of the thylakoid starts the activation of chlorophyll, followed by the photolysis of water, that is the breakdown of the water molecule into hydrogen and hydroxyl ions right in the plastids containing chlorophyll. And then the next phase, which is also dependent upon the presence of sunlight, that is called photophosphorylation. Even photophosphorylation is the conversion of the ADP, adenosine diphosphate, into a energy rich compound called ATP or the adenosine triphosphate. And after these steps, we are dependent upon sunlight because that needs activation of chlorophyll. The next phase happens subsequently, which is called the biosynthetic phase, which was sometimes earlier known by the name the dark phase of photosynthesis. But yes, this has been rectified because this makes the children think as if this process happens in darkness. No, no step of photosynthesis can ever happen in darkness or in night. It is only possible that every step of photosynthesis will only occur during daytime, and some of it may require the sunlight for the changes to occur, others may happen independent of the sunlight. So only that which happens independent of sunlight, that is what is named as the biosynthetic phase. So what happens during that biosynthetic phase? Here carbon dioxide is fixed to make glucose, and that glucose, which later gets converted into starch and gets stored in the plant body, and each animal on this world utilizes that food for their growth and development. So we all, animals, plants, bacteria, everything on this living on this world require food, and that is in some way or the other secured from the plant itself. Now, what are the different kinds of chlorophyll pigments? There are 9 different kinds of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, to many more. But mostly chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B are the most active ones that help support the process of photosynthesis. And the visible spectrum of sunlight usually activates this chlorophyll. The best are the blue and the red wavelengths of sunlight, which activates the chlorophyll molecule and thus allows the entire process of photosynthesis to happen. That is what makes each plant cell, with the presence of chlorophyll, to perform the process of photosynthesis, and thus they become the autotrophs and definitely the supplier of not only food but also the producer of oxygen, on which the life of most of the living depends. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you once again.